This June the 10th Picks edition of the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost, the bank account built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your shirt at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. Welcome, everybody, to the MLB Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, the 9th of June. We are here to handicap a full slate of action for Tuesday, June the 10th. Joining me from somewhere in North Carolina is Mr. Lonte Smith. Lonte, how are you doing?
What's up, Mal? I'm doing all right, man. Just coming off of it wasn't, I mean, I didn't have a ton of volume, but it was an okay weekend. The baseball, I don't think it was too great. It was okay. But overall, man, doing pretty good. Hopefully we can, get on track, get you back on track. I know you're talking about trying to get over that hump. So this is the day that you get over that, man. So we're gonna try our best to get some winners and get you over that hump. Just disagree with me and you'll be all right. Disagree with me and you'll win.
Still where I was, man. Nothing's changed. It's still like 6 and 7, 7 and 8. I know we put those tally site picks in every night, so that's a lot. I mean, I'm not betting 15 games every night. So actually, my bets have been all right. I kept my head above water. But that constant, I mean, you take on 15 games a night in MLB. You've got to be prepared to bleed. But I just need, it's been sort of 2 or 3 weeks now. I'm enjoying it, though. It's a really fun season. I'm enjoying some of the bigger teams not being as good. I'm enjoying like the different parts of the cycle, the Tigers and the Cubs on the upswing and stuff like that.
Yep, parity.
So lots to be getting on with. We'll dive straight into the comments briefly because I just 5 minutes ago finished the Premier League Gambling Podcast. We were previewing the Club World Cup. Do you know anything about the FIFA Club World Cup, Lonte, that starts in your country on Sunday?
I have zero idea, but what I do know is, you know what, and I don't even want to say this. I'm kind of ignorant to the football world, so I know like literally nothing that goes on. But we have a lot of soccer goes on in Charlotte. I don't know if you know anything about Charlotte, North Carolina. A lot of teams play there. I don't know if it's if it's for a cup. I don't know anything about it. I just know that it's always packed whenever I hear about it.
I'll find out in a minute. But yeah, the tournament's being held in US. Sean's going to watch Atletico Madrid against Paris on Sunday in LA. So if there's any game, I'm going to find out if there's any games. I mean, I'm sure
Charlotte, North Carolina,
quite a big place.
Yeah, North Carolina, where the Panthers play, Bank of America Stadium.
Okay, right. I'll find that out soon. But I did offer anyone who watched the Premier League show half a loyalty point if they came in the MLB show. So Joe Dollar turned up for his half a point. Callum at the top's claiming he wants a whole point. It was only ever a half. TVDBJ is here as well. So welcome along. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 games off the board, which is pretty standard for our Tuesday night handicaps because the Monday games haven't gone off yet. But I'm sure there's plenty winners in here for us. I'll point you towards the SGPN app, first of all, which has got all your picks for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, and the NBA Finals. So get that wherever you get your apps. And we kick off on Tuesday with a 6:35 Eastern first pitch between the Detroit Tigers and the Baltimore Orioles. It is Sawyer Gipson-Long for the Detroit Tigers. For Baltimore, officially TBD, which is why I believe this game is off the board. I think it's left-handed pitcher Cade Povich. You can correct me if you think I'm wrong there. But I think it's Gipson-Long against Povich. No lines on this one at all. Detroit's had another decent weekend. They are going along really nicely. They won 2 of 3 against the Cubs in the battle of teams that currently lead their divisions. Sawyer Gibson-Long's an interesting name. He had one start, 8 outs last time, was all very average, and it was a win against the White Sox. So it didn't really tell us an awful lot. Other than, I do like him, and he did okay last year in a short sample when he was up and down. We know Detroit had all sorts of silliness with their pitches. Basically, the rotate. There was no rotation. The bullpen just ran on fumes for the entire last 2 months of the season. But Gibson Long did okay, so I think he can go well here. Cade Povich has been a little bit better lately, but he's far better on the road away from Camden Yards. In all his games at Camden Yards, he just gives the opposition a head start. And I think the last thing you can do is give Detroit a head start. I think they're good value here. Well, I can't say that because I don't know what the prices are. But with a name on the mount like Gibson Long, they're not going to be prohibitively short. Great defense. They've got a better bullpen. And I don't like Povich at home. So if the price isn't silly, I'll be pulling the trigger on Detroit, Lonte.
Yeah, tough game. I really would like to see the price point, because that would kind of like sway me in either direction. So I don't really have a take on the side per se. But I was looking over Povich. If it is him, Detroit hits lefties pretty well. They're about 266 versus lefties. They hit the ball the best when they're on the road. They're 6-4 in the last 10. They've been alternating wins and losses over the last few series, but consistent-esque. I think they've been pretty consistent. They've won 7 of their last 10 versus Baltimore. That includes 5 straight 3-0 this year, which is April. I think they played in April, and they were dominant in those 3 wins. 17-5, they outscored Baltimore. But again, Baltimore's been playing really well. Also, they're 7-3 in their last 10. They've won 4 of 6 on the road. They're hitting the ball solid in the last 10, but their runs per 9 is a bit low, so they're not really converting. They're leaving a lot of people on base, basically, is what that means. But I was looking at like an over. I think both teams should be able to score. Gibson Long, he was at 70 pitches in a debut that you talked about. So the staff saying he can get closer to 90 in this start. So I'll be interested to see how he looks like the second or third time going through the order if he makes it that far. But yeah, I would probably look in over. The sidewise would be price dependent. Obviously, I guess I prefer Baltimore being that they're at home. You got a young guy on the road making a start, and Baltimore's playing really well offensively. So probably would go Baltimore. It just literally depends on the price.
Okay, thank you. Next up, we go to a game that is on the board. We should have a little bit more on a 6:40 Eastern first pitch between the Cincinnati Reds and the Cleveland Guardians. Left-handed pitcher Andrew Abbott for the Reds, with Slade Ciccone going for the Guardians. Relatively tight on the books. -103 Cincinnati. Cleveland -116. Total Lonte is 8.5.
Yeah, so this is like classic. I love the pitcher for Cincinnati, but I love the offense for Cleveland and don't like the pitcher. So it'll probably be Cincinnati for me. They've had recent success against them. They swept them in the mid-May series, outscored them 12-6 in that series. Cincinnati's about 500 in the last 10, but they're playing a lot better than they have been. 3 of those 5 losses that they had were by 1 run. They still can't hit the ball on a consistent basis. They're still hitting under 220 in their last 10, but generally they hit the ball better on the road. Cleveland, it's just like Ciccone. He's a mixed bag with him. 3 earned runs and 5 innings pitched in the meeting, in the 5/17 meeting or May 17th meeting against Cincinnati. He's only had 1 home start, gave up 5 earned. He's given up 6 home runs in 4 starts. And Abbott is coming off his worst start of the year, so I think he bounces back a little bit. He's allowed 2 combined in his prior 6 starts prior to giving up that 5 earned. He's coming in off 12 scoreless innings pitched on the road. He threw 5 scoreless in May when they met off in 5 innings. So I think Cincinnati, better pitcher on the mound. Maybe I go Cincinnati first 5 just to keep the bullpen out of it. Cleveland has a pretty elite bullpen. So I'm going to probably split a unit and go first 5 Cincinnati in the full game. So, yeah, give me Abbott in the first 5 for a little bit more than the full game. But I do like Cincinnati in the spot.
I like the Reds in this spot too. Taking the handicap, Trev in the chat. The main handicap being the Guardians are really bad against left-handed pitching. I was really enjoying Andrew Abbott's start until last time. He gave up 5 earned runs against the Brewers. But he threw 5 scoreless against the Guardians on May the 18th, which is a good symptom of Cleveland's struggle against Southpaws. His run a good start was long enough, and I think he can bounce back. Giaccone's pitched okay in that same series against the Reds May the 17th. 3 earned runs, 5 innings. Cincinnati won that game 4-1. He's got a 4.87 ERA, a 1.43 WHIP. And Cleveland 4-12 straight up against lefties. That's the big one for me. So in a close one, I'll take the Reds here at -103. Lonte, Charlotte has got some of the world's best football teams. You've got Real Madrid there, of all people. Real Madrid are the second biggest team in the world behind Newcastle United. So you've got Real Madrid against Pachuca of Mexico, and then Bayern Munich against Benfica of Portugal in Charlotte. So Tuesday the 24th and Sunday the 22nd. Lonte, no excuse.
So those are matches I should check out. I would be out there having no idea what the hell is going on.
That's all right. Just have six pints of beer. That's
right.
Easy game. 6:40 Eastern. First pitch is the Miami Marlins at the Pittsburgh Pirates. Officially TBD for Miami. I think it is your mate Sandy Alcantara. Pittsburgh have confirmed Mitch Keller to the mound. No lines, unfortunately, as a result of Miami not listing Sandy. Do you think it's Sandy, Lonte? Yeah.
Yep.
I watched Sandy last week, and it was his best effort for a while, but it was just against Colorado. He managed to limit the walks, which is important for Sandy because he's been walking absolutely everybody. But on the road, even if you want him to pitch well, on the road, you just have to fade him. His road ERA in 5 starts is now up to 12.81. That's incredible. It might be a world record. Mitch Keller also had a stinker last time out, and he's got a 1-8 record, which tells you where Pittsburgh have been. But Pittsburgh have been a bit funky lately. They won 3 in a row, swept Philly over the weekend out of nowhere. Paul Skeens won again. He hasn't lost a game since I told you have to fade him. It's unbeatable. I'm going to have a very rare bet on Pittsburgh here in this situation. I like Keller. Pittsburgh in form. Sandy hopefully gets better, but I just can't take his road form. I would have to bet Pittsburgh, Lonte.
Yeah, I'm with you, man. And I actually took some Pittsburgh today. I thought they were short with Burrows on the mound. So yeah, hopefully I'll carry those winnings over from tonight and carry him over to Kit Keller. Keller's last win was his opening day start, which was against Miami, which is ironic. But he's, like you said, he's coming off his worst start of the year. But I think the thing that separates him is he's actually been pitched well. So he's only allowed 3 or less in 9 of those 12 starts. So he's been really good. He just can't. The offense just doesn't click for him for whatever reason. But as of late, they've been playing really well. 6-4 of the last 10. They've won 4 of their last 6 at home. Miami, they took 3 or 4 in the opening series versus March, but this is 2 totally different teams. Pittsburgh trending up, Miami just still trending down. With Sandy on the mound, you talked about his road ERA. I think that's telling here. So I'll be on Pittsburgh as well. I think just foreshadowing, I think we see an O'Neal Cruz bomb tomorrow.
Nice. Just talking back to Cincinnati briefly, I did want to mention Christian Encarnacion Strand, who was homered in every game since he came back off the aisle. So might be a player to watch going forwards. Nathan has joined us in the chat. Nathan, not seen Nathan for a little while. So welcome along. Nice to have you with us. Okay, next up is 6:45 Eastern between the Chicago Cubs and the Philadelphia Phillies. Colin Ray for the Cubs, and for Philly, it will be Mick Abel. -116 Philadelphia, -102 the Cubs. Total Lonte is 9.
But yeah, The Phillies, man, they're struggling big time. They've lost 9 of 10, if I'm not mistaken. They got Bryce Harper on the IL. It's just tough. It's a struggle for them right now. And I mean, Abel's small sample, 1 earned and 11 in the third, only 2 Ks in his last start versus the 9 prior. So I'm kind of wondering like what to make of that. I don't really know. It's hard to gauge because the sample size is so small. Cubby 6-4 last 10. They hit the ball extremely well on the road, which is why I'm worried about Abel in this specific spot. This is probably the best offense he's faced. But Rios, he's kind of worrisome as well. He pitched well in bulk relief in his last start, but he allowed 12 earned in his last 2. 4 of those were home runs. He's got a low K rate as well. He had 0 Ks in his last outing, so a lot of contact being allowed. My first look was over Mal. I know the Phillies have scored 3 or less in 7 of their last 10. They're hitting under 200 the last 10 as well. But I mean, I think everything points to offense here. If I had to make a play on the side, I would have to go with the Cubs until the Phillies kind of turn it around and show some consistency. But over would be my best bet in this game.
Yeah, you hit on a lot of the problems that Philly are having. They have lost 9 out of the last 10. Only hitting 189 in that span, averaging 3 runs per game. Something else you mentioned. Lost 5 in a row, swept by Pittsburgh. And Bryce Harper went to the IL as well, with a little kind of a minor complaint, but he'll be missing for the minimum stay, I would have said. So that's a problem. I like Colin Ray. He did go from back-to-back 6 earned run starts to a scoreless effort at Washington last time. But his overall record and his road record is good. Back to Abel last week. We talked about Abel. It might have been myself and Dylan. Oh, it was me and you. We did both nights, didn't we? We backed Abel last week. He did his job. 5.2 innings, 1 earned run against the Blue Jays. But the Philly offense let us down. And that's kind of the story of what's happening. So all of those negative trends for Philly. And I do like Ray and the Cubs. Tough series the weekend against Detroit. But the Phillies don't hold many fears for anyone currently. I'll take the Cubs here at -102. We will move on. Let me talk to you first about Edge Boost, the first ever bank account built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. No usage fees, no minimums in cashback rewards, 100% approval for all betting deposits. Sign up at edgeboost.bet. The promo code is SGPN. This is your last chance to sign up to get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt. The Circa Fantasy Football giveaway, which is a stunning prize in a stunning casino. I spent a few hours there a couple of years ago when I was out there for NFL Week 1. Absolutely unbelievable. Great prize. 12 people, your entire league, can draft in Stadium Swim with a $5,000 bar and food tab as well. Limo transport, all sorts of stuff. But all listeners can get a permanent 15% deposit at Circa Property, 15% discount, at Circa Properties with the promo code SGP15, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. Kevin has joined us in the chat, saying nice things. Kev, welcome along. We very much appreciate it. Nice to have you with us. Next game on the board is 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Washington Nationals and the New York Mets. Left-handed pitcher Mackenzie Gore goes for the Nationals. For the Mets, it is Griffin Canning. +138 Washington, -164 the Mets, and the total here is 7.5. Mackenzie Gore is your current strikeout leader in MLB, actually. We talked about him a little bit last week when we did the show, because every time I sort of get back on board with him, he screws me over a little bit. But he's been great again recently. Back-to-back scoreless, covering 13 innings in his last 2 starts. That brought his ERA down to 2.87. Griffin Canning twirled an absolute beauty at the Dodgers last week. 6 scoreless, 7 strikeouts. So my instinct was that this feels like an under. And then the trends follow it. The pitching trends follow it up. Gore 7-6 to the under. Cannon even better 7-4 to the under. And against lefties, the Mets have gone 9-6 to the under as well. So all the signposts were towards a lower scoring game here. I did want to mention Pete Alonso because he did one of my favourite things in MLB. Happens 2 or 3 times a year. He won the standoff, the national anthem standoff against. I can't remember who it was against, but he won and he celebrated, and quite rightly so as well. So there you go. I'm padding slightly because Lonte. I don't know where Lonte is gone. Is Lonte back? Here he is. Oh, he's kind of back. He's not entirely back. Lonte, let me know when you can hear me. We will move on to a 7:10 Eastern first pitch between the Tampa Bay Rays and the Boston Red Sox, where Ryan Pepiot will go for the Rays against Lucas Giolito of the Boston Red Sox. Another tight one on the books. Boston -102, the Rays -116 with a total of 9.5. Tampa Bay are going along quite nicely recently. They're MLB best 14-4 since May the 20th, Tampa Bay. I like Ryan Pepiot, one of Dylan's guys. 2 earned runs in his last 19 2/3, 2.35 road ERA with a 1.13 whip, so no problem with any of that. Giolito has been a little bit of an issue. He lasted 5 outs just last time against the LA Angels. Gave up 7 earned runs in that short start. I watched that game, and he was very, very hittable. The Angels had no problem with him at all. The Rays 7-3 in the last 10. They're above 500 on the road. I mean, you look at Giolito's game log. There's that start against the Angels. He gave up 6 earned runs at home against Atlanta on May the 17th as well. So these home starts for Giolito recently haven't been panning out. Fenway Park games have gone over 6 of the last 8. There's a possible angle in there if you do like runs. But I just wanted to stick with Tampa Bay. Prefer Pepiot to Giolito. And like I say, playing good baseball, Tampa Bay, 14-4 since May the 20th. Lonte's laptop has died, apparently. The aliens have got him. So Lonte will be back in a little while. In the meantime, I will carry on. I'll fly solo with a 7:40 Eastern first pitch between the Texas Rangers and the Minnesota Twins. This game is off the board. Tyler Mahle is confirmed going to the mound for Texas. Minnesota are TBD, but I think it's going to be Zebby Matthews who goes for Minnesota. Like I say, no odds on this one particularly. Tyler Mahle had his worst start of the year last time out. That was in that sort of weird little ballpark in Tampa, the Steinbrenner Stadium. So it's kind of forgivable for Mahle to have an odd one in there. But he's not nearly as good on the road. Doesn't have a good career record against the Twins either, I noticed. The Twins, Zebby Matthews, the Twins have won his last 3 starts. His home start, he pitched well. His only home start so far, he pitched well and struck out 9 batters against the Kansas City Royals. So I don't think he's got a problem here being comfortable. So I like that home form. Not so convinced by Texas. Obviously, we haven't seen any lines. But my preference here is for a Minnesota Twins money line win. Next on the board is 7:40 Eastern. The New York Yankees are at the Kansas City Royals. We have 2 left-handed pitchers going here in Max Fried for the Yankees. For Kansas City, it will be Noah Cameron. And the Yankees, as you'd expect, behind Fried, are a short favourite, nearly $2, minus 196. The Royals plus 164. And the total is 8.5. Max Fried needed a bounce back from a dodgy start and did get it last time. at home against Cleveland. 6 scoreless with 7 strikeouts. He has a 2.15 road ERA, which is absolutely fine. But it's not quite as straightforward because Noah Cameron has been excellent as well. 5 games started, a 0.85 ERA is not to be sniffed at all. In all over the place here, you've got really strong first 5 under trends. Freed is sitting at 8-4. Cameron is sitting at 5-0 in his 5 starts to the under there. And the Royals against left-handed pitching straight up are 8-2-1 to the under. So everything tells me we're going for a first 5 under for a little low-key pitching duel. Lonte, the aliens have released him. He's back. Are you okay, mate? What's going on?
Yeah, man, for whatever reason, my computer, like the charger, just whenever it is plugged in, it doesn't charge, and I have to take it out and plug it back. Like, it's just weird. So, but it happened with Scott last show. So yeah, that's my bad.
Okay, fair enough. Right. What you need to catch us up on, Lonte, you see if you can match up with my picks here. This is like a little game show now. You've got the Rays and the Red Sox. You've got the Rangers and the Twins. You've got the Yankees and the Royals. You'll win a prize, Lonte, if you get the 3 picks all the same as me.
All right, so let's start with the Rays in Boston. So I went over and I went with Tampa. Boston took 2 of 3 in the middle of April, but they're 500 in the last 10. They had a good weekend versus the Yankees. Offense looked really good. They scored 5+ runs in 7 of the last 10. I don't really trust Giolito, but again, I think the offense at home will maybe help him out here. Pepe has been really good. 6 straight quality starts, 9 runs allowed, and 37 2/3. He's been solid on the road. No more than 3 earned allowed. He did have 6 earned in 6 innings pitched in the April start versus Boston, and he's also lost his last 3 versus Boston. So I think we see a high scoring affair here. I like Boston and I like Tampa. I'm sorry, and the over on this game. Did you like Tampa and over?
I like Tampa. That was my pick, Lonte. So you are 1 out of 1. Rangers at Twins?
Rangers and Twins. Do you have the pitcher for the Twins?
Zebby Matthews, I think.
Okay, because I saw I don't know who I saw going for them. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Texas. It's just similar to the handicap of Cincinnati and I forgot who else they played, but it's similar to that handicap. I like the pitcher better for Texas. I like the offense better for Minnesota. Molly's coming off his worst start of the year, 4 earned allowed. He's been more gettable on the road than at home. 11 earned in his last 4 on the road, 3 earned in his last 4 at home. But I do think Minnesota's a little bit overvalued here. I don't really like Matthews. Their starting pitching, Minnesota has had an ERA of 5 in their last 10. They're really like hitting the ball well, and they hit righties pretty well. But I think it's something to be said for what Texas has with their bullpen and their starting pitcher. So I'm preferring Molly on the road over Minnesota.
Well, you failed that test, Lonte, because the answer is the Minnesota Twins.
Okay.
Can you redeem yourself with the Yankees at the Royals?
Oh yeah, man. I love the Royals in this spot, man. I think it'll be a low scoring game. I like the under as well. 8 of the last 10 meetings against this team has went under. All 4 meetings this year flew under the total. I mean, the Yankees have dominated Kansas City over the last few seasons. They've won 8 of 10. I talked about the 3 that they won this year. They've won 5 straight if you add the 2 from last year. Not a good weekend versus Boston. I just talked about that. The pitching's been horrible over the last 10. ERA above 6 for all. Smith's been pretty steady this year. I mean, I don't really have a bad thing to say about him. It's just that I don't think he should be warranted of this big of a favorite. Kansas City's really hitting the ball extremely well. They're hitting almost 300 in the last 10 on 10 hits. Record-wise, they're right about 500. Rubik is coming off extended rest. He's got 1 earned or less in 6 straight. I think this is too big of a favorite for Kansas City and what I deem to be a 3-2, 2-1 type of game. So I'm going with Kansas City at home as the dog.
Yeah, I wouldn't put you off that at all. I like the first 5 under, but you called the low scoring game as well, Lonte. You were on the same page there. So 2 out of 3, mate. Not terrible.
That's fair.
7:40 Eastern first pitch is the Atlanta Braves at the Milwaukee Brewers. Grand homes for the Braves. For the Brewers, it is Quinn Priester. Plus 102, tiny home dogs. The Brewers minus 121. The Braves total sits at 9. Grant Holmes has been better lately, but he very much reserves his best work for his home start. He's got a 5.55 ERA on the road. Back-to-back good wins for the Brewers behind Priester against Philadelphia in Cincinnati. The Brewers are good at home, 19-12 record. There was a couple of conflicting trends here. Atlanta are 8-2 in the last 10 against NL Central opposition, which is obviously a positive. But they're just on a horrible losing streak again, the Braves. So I don't really... back to the Phillies. It's the same Phillies handicap. The prices are close because of the names. I'm not really keen on homes away on the road. And I can't back the Braves. I think the Brewers, I don't mind Priester at all. Brewers are good at home. Plus 102, home underdog. I'll take Milwaukee, Lonte.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think the wrong team's favorite here. I mean, I think you talked about it. It's just brand name bias. Atlanta's 2-8 their last 10, 7 straight losses. They have lost 5 straight by 1 run. So, a flip of the coin, and they could be, closer to maybe winning 7 of 10. But they haven't. They haven't hit the ball well. They're hitting under 210 in their last 10. Holmes has not pitched much on the road. He's got 4 starts, 13 earned runs total, so not horrible. Pretty much a mixed bag, similar to the season. I think he mirrors the season that Atlanta's having, just kind of up and down, steady in moments, but then not so good in other moments. But Milwaukee's been significantly a better team. I mean, they're 7-3 in the last 10. Maybe some of the pricing has to do with their struggles offensively this weekend. They did fail to score a run in 2 of the 3 games versus San Diego, but still, they're still hitting around 260 the last 10. Priester's been pretty good, 3 earned or fewer in 6 straight games. 3 of those were starts, 3 of those were bulk reliefs. He's got a 2.51 ERA, 0.99 WHIP over that span, 2 or less in his 5 straight outings. So he's been really good. 4 of his last 5 starts have been on the road, so kind of getting home with the crowd behind you with that offense who's been playing really well. I think wrong team favorite, so I like Milwaukee pretty big in this one.
Yes, it's a WTF spot. Wrong team favoured. Trev is telling us that DL Hall will open for Priester. DL Hall, big name rookie. And Trev also helpfully points out that the Braves blow. So the Brewers, it's a team ride. Team ride on the Brewers. We'll move on to the second half of this card. After I've told you that Underdog is going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. Use our code MLB SGPN to claim a special pick and first-time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credit. UnderdogFantasy.com promo code MLB SGPN. Rhythm, we've talked about a lot, but now they've just dropped a game-changing feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model is consistently won and has a high ROI. You've got a strikeout prop 59% of the time when the line and win probability hit at a certain range. That is a Rhythm Power Trend, updated daily, exclusive to Rhythm. Get a 7-day free trial at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. And finally, we're brought to you by mybookie.ag, your place to bet on every sport, tons of locations, crypto payouts are really quick. Head to mybookie.ag with the promo code SGPN for a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. T's and C's apply. That's mybookie.ag, promo code SGPN. 7:45 Eastern, first pitch. The Toronto Blue Jays go to the St. Louis Cardinals. Chris Bassett for the Blue Jays. Miles Mikolas for the Cardinals. Plus 104 small home underdogs are the Cards. Blue Jays minus 125. Total Lonte 8.5.
Yeah, I like over, and I like St. Louis at home. I think this is similar. I know Toronto's been playing well. They've won 8 of 10. Offenses look really good. They're hitting almost 300 in the last 10. They've actually scored 5+ runs in 7 of those 10 games. But they're going on the road to a place where St. Louis plays really well. Mikolas, I prefer over Bassett. Bassett's allowed, 1 earned in 3 of his last 5. But if you look at the 2 games that he didn't allow 1 or less, 11 combined runs. His contact rate is sky high. He's allowed 6+ hits in 7 of his last 9. He's allowed 4+ earned runs in 4 straight road starts, 5 home runs allowed in those starts as well. And I mean, St. Louis offense has been down a tick, but they still hit righties pretty well, almost 270. They're going to hit the ball well at home. Mikolas's quality starts in 3 of his last 4. He's coming off his second worst 2-game stretch of the season, but he's been pretty steady at home. So I like St. Louis at home. I like the over. Toronto's over in 9 of their last 10. St. Louis over in 7 of their last 10. So I think we can see a high scoring game, like 6-5, 7-6, somewhere in that range, and hopefully St. Louis can come out on top. So I like the Cards at home in the over.
It's the weekly correct score pick from Lonte. Chris Bassett bounced back last time against Philly. We know they're not in great form, but he hasn't been as good on the road at all. 4.86 ERA. I picked Miles Mikolas last week, if you remember, and won. Brought the habit of a lifetime. They got a 6-5 win against the Royals. I like both teams here without being keen on either pitcher. I found it hard to pick a side. The Blue Jays are in good form. They've won 9 of 11. But interestingly, the Cards are 5-1 in the last 6 in interleague play, which isn't a stat we get to very often. So kind of conflicting trends for his side. But I agreed with you, Lonte. I just thought runs. I like both offenses. Not really keen on the position for either pitchers. I backed Mikolas once. I don't want to make a habit of it. So we'll go over 8.5 in that one. Next game on the board here. We are rattling through these. There's an 8:10 Eastern first pitch between the Chicago White Sox and the Houston Astros. We have Shane Smith, who goes for the White Sox. For Houston, it will be Lance McCullers Jr. -200, Houston. The White Sox are +168 in the total. Here sits at 8. Back-to-back wins for Shane Smith in the White Sox, who continue to turn a profit. Last time out, +132 against the Tigers. We took him the time before, +205 against the Mets. Lonte is nodding hard here. So it is hard to ignore because it's been a fun trend. It's been a profitable trend. It's not been a fluky trend either. Shane Smith's just plain good, like.
Yeah.
But there's a but, unfortunately. I'm going to pull the old switcheroo here. McCullers is doing fine. Pretty average, really. But Houston are decent at home, 22-12. And it's the White Sox on the road. That's the problem. Give me Shane Smith at home. I'd be tempted most times. 6-26 on the road is the problem. So that means I have to ignore them. As a run line favourite, Houston are doing okay, covering 34-29. You'd have to take them as a run line here at -200. And I think they can probably do it. Something like 4-2, 3-1, something like that. But yeah, the Astros will get it done. It'll be ugly, Lonte.
Yeah, I like that +1.5 for the White Sox, man. I think the White Sox have been feisty. I think Shane Smith has been. Shane Smith has been really, really good, man. And if you look at his starts, like you said, it's not been fluky at all. I mean, he's coming off 5 and a third scoreless versus Detroit. We talked about Detroit. He's got a 2.49 ERA, fairly solid on the road. If you look at so I'll give you his earned runs versus good offenses, and I consider these above average offenses. So he allowed 3 at the Mets. He allowed 1 in Chicago for the Cubs, 1 versus Milwaukee, 0 at Minnesota. So those are 4 quality offenses that we probably already talked about. And he allowed a total of 5 runs in those 4 starts. So it's nothing fluky here. And in Houston, I respect their offense, but they're not as good as those 4 offenses. So I don't think he'll be afraid. I like that first 5 money line. I think Trev said the same thing. Houston's been pretty good. They do hit lefties pretty well. But they haven't been hitting the ball well at all now. 222 last 10, 3.1 runs per 9. They're hitting 223 at home. McCullers, I do think he's trending well. But if you look at his splits, he's really better on the road than at home. I got him at 0 earned on the road and 12 earned at home. He's coming in off 6 scoreless at Pittsburgh and he's been really good in his last 4 starts. 5 earned runs combined in 20 and a third innings pitched. So I do like McCullers. I like the under in the game, but I think Shane Smith, got to put some respect on him in that first 5. Let's go Shane Smith first 5 under and full game under.
Yeah, Trev is absolutely on board with you. I got a feeling I might regret this because it's there for me. We followed it, you were nodding along, and I've gone the other way, and I possibly shouldn't have done. Time will tell. 8:40 Eastern first pitch. The San Francisco Giants at the Colorado Rockies. We have 2 lefties going to the bump in this one. Kyle Harrison for the Giants, and it is Carson Palmquist for the Rockies. Plus 190 Colorado. Minus 230 the Giants. The total is right up there. 11.5. Lonte, what have you got?
Yeah, you know what? This is the first time in history. I'm taking the Rockies, man. I think the Rockies are live in this game to win. I like them in the first 5. I like the full game. I like the under as well. I think the under is a little bit. I think the number's a little bit too high. San Francisco, they took 3 or 4 in early May versus Colorado. Who doesn't? They've won 7 of 10. But they haven't really hit the ball well at all. They're hitting under 215 versus lefties. They haven't had. The offense has looked a little bit better, but it's hard to look worse than what they were. Harrison is dealing with a bruised elbow, so I'm wondering how healthy he is. He's coming off his worst start of the year. I think he took a comebacker to the elbow. He allowed 5 earned on 9 hits to San Diego. Now, granted, San Diego is not, Colorado is not San Diego, but still. I think Harrison could struggle here if Colorado can get some if they can get some offense going early on and put the pressure on San Francisco. I don't think San Francisco will be able to come back and outscore them if they could put up 3 or 4 runs. Now that's asking a lot from Colorado, but I think it's feasible. Palmquist has been better in his last 2 starts, 6 combined on 7 hits. He allowed 11 earned on 16 hits in his previous 2. This will be the worst offense that he's faced. He faced the Mets, the Cubs, Arizona, and Philly. 3 of those were on the road. So this is obviously the worst offense that he's faced. I think he can go well here. So I'm going first 5 Colorado, full game Colorado, and I'm taking the under.
I was absolutely, completely on the other side of this. Just where everything you said, completely pulls apart.
I get
everything you said positive. I had the negative slant on. First thing I noticed, actually, was that Kyle Harrison's got decent numbers in Coors, which is unusual. He's 3-0 with a 2.20 ERA. Really good on the road. 4 road starts, a 1.50 ERA. Won't go long into games. Sort of 3.5, 4 innings. But the Giants' bullpen's so good. That's not really a problem. 2.32 ERA and a 1.06 whip out of the bullpen. So good numbers there. Palmquist is 0-4 with an 8.50 ERA, 4 starts, 4 run line defeats. So after that, I sort of liked Harrison. I looked at those numbers for Palmquist, and I didn't really need to go anywhere else. I didn't want to go anywhere else. I didn't find anything that led me anywhere else. Completely different sides. I got the Giants on the run line, Lonte. One of us will win tomorrow. One of us won't.
Let's face it.
Next up, it's 9:38 Eastern first pitch. 2 of these last 3 games are off the board. We've got missing pitchers. First up for the Athletics, who take on the LA Angels. I think it's going to be Mitch Spence for the A's, even though officially TBD. The Angels are going to throw Jose Soriano. We've got no lines for this one at all. First thing I wanted to mention for the Angels was they picked up Lamont Wade Jr. From the Giants. A good signing because he was really good last year. He went from being sneaky good to just plain old good. And he's also got one of the best nicknames. They call him Late Night Lamont. And I don't know why. There's a great... Do you know why?
Yeah, well, he had a really good year. I can't remember. It's been within the past 2 years, or maybe 3 years. He was really rolling, and it seemed like every night, because obviously they play on the West Coast, so it's nighttime. Well, on the East Coast, it's later, and he would always come up with a big hit every time late in the game. or it would be maybe late in the game, or maybe it would be late at night. So I'm assuming that's how he got it, but that's just how I looked at it. And I'm not sure if that's really how he got it, but I would assume that's what it was between those two things.
So in my head, it was something far more nefarious, which is a shame, really. He was up to all sorts. Because I would love late nights to be my nickname, but it's not. I'm in bed listening to baseball games, unfortunately. Mitch Spence, 23 appearances so far this season. This is only his second start. He did go 5 innings last time against the Twins and pitch well, so you might get some half-decent length out of him. And Soriano looks like he's unravelling pretty quickly to me. His home ERA is now up to 5.92. The Angels 4 games under 400 at home. I think they'll be favourites here, and I think they'll be too short. Obviously, tricky that we haven't seen a line. The A's have been on a bit of a losing streak, but oddly enough, have covered the run line in the last 5, so they're not getting beat by many. And Jacob Wilson's worth a mention for the Athletics. He's hitting 469 in his last 10, having an absolutely outstanding rookie season. But yeah, I think the A's might take this, Lonte.
Yeah, I like the A's as well, just depending on how big of a dog it'll be. They're hitting the ball really well, 280 last 10. Spence was impressive in his first start. You talked about that. He's been a reliever for most of the year. He was really efficient in that start. 57 pitches through 5 innings, only 3 hits allowed. So, the Angels can struggle offensively. They've dominated the A's too. So I think the A's should be ready to get a little bit of revenge here. They've won. The Angels have won 5 straight versus them, 4-0 this year. Soriano, I don't really love Soriano at all. I mean, he was rotating between like 0 and 3 earned and a handful of starts. He did give up 3 and 6 innings pitched versus the A's mid-May start, 4 walks, 6 hits. So he wasn't great, and he's got a high hit rate, low K rate. He doesn't have a lot of swing and miss stuff, so allows a lot of contact. I'm going to go A's and over. 3 to 4 games this year did go over. The average was about 12 runs in that series. Both bullpens can be blown up by the opposing offense, so I'm going to take the A's and over.
Next is the penultimate game on the show here. This is a 9:40 Eastern first pitch between the LA Dodgers and the San Diego Padres. Game is off the board. Dodgers are TBD. I haven't seen a pitcher listed at all for LA. For San Diego, it is Dylan Cease. I would be prepared to handicap this game a lot in the next week or so. 7 and 11, these two play each other 7 times in the next 11. So it's the first time they've played each other since the playoffs last year. Normally, you see the Padres Dodgers all the time.
Yep.
Obviously, they've congregated these games a lot. Nothing really for the Dodgers without a pitcher. The only stats I had really pointed towards kind of counterintuitively the low scoring nature of what the Padres have been doing lately. Dylan Cease 300 runs in 4 straight. Consistent, but a run of unders for him in his games. The under has hit 7 and 2 in the last 9 at Petco Park, and the Padres currently lead the league in shutouts. They've got the most shutouts in MLB, so a lot of run prevention for the Padres. So lots of pointers towards the under. Obviously, depends who the Dodgers throw, but even if they throw someone. And that boosts the total on the books. If you get something up there towards a 9 or a 9.5, then the Padres have been trending towards the under, Lonte.
Yeah, I like under as well. You talked about it. It's hard to kind of gauge without the Dodgers pitching. I like your numbers on Cease. Those are really good. And San Diego, they've won 6 of 10. But I think I said this on the last time we were together on the pod. Their offense has been struggling. I mean, they're hitting under 210 their last 10, 2.6 runs per 9. The Dodgers, I mean, obviously they have an electric offense. They're hitting the ball well, but it's not really translating to a ton of scoring when it matters. They've been 500 over the last 10. They've been that about the last month and a half. So I think they're kind of coasting, trying to get guys healthy, trying to get to the All-Star break, and then I think they'll turn it on post All-Star break to kind of get in rhythm, gearing up for the playoffs. But in this specific matchup, if the price is right, I'll probably be on the Padres at home. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. The Padres always get up. I mean, most teams do, but the Padres specifically being that they share, a state together. So I think the Padres are going to be live to win the game. I like a low-scoring game, 3-2, 4-3 type of game out. So that should be able to get us under that 9.5 if that's what it is.
Final game on the card, 9:40 Eastern. The Seattle Mariners are at the Arizona Diamondbacks. Brian Wu for Seattle, Brandon Pfaadt for Arizona. And this one is a match on the books. It is -108 each of two, with a total, Lonte, of 8.5. The books can't split them. Can you?
Yeah, so I like Seattle. I prefer Wu over Pfaadt. Pfaadt's allowed 4+ in 4 of his last 7 starts, 13 allowed in his last 2, 2 or less Ks in 3 of his last 4. So not a lot of swing and miss stuff. The Arizona's bullpen ERA above 5, so always susceptible to getting blown up. I think that leans me to an over as well. Seattle's offense has really kicked into another gear when they're on the road. They're hitting 260 on the road. And I think it's a bounce back spot for Wu. I mean, he's coming off his worst 2-game starts of the year. 7 earned, 4 of those were home runs. Both of those were at home, and he has been better on the road. He's got 2 or less allowed in 4 of his last 5 on the road. Seattle's not been playing good baseball, but I think this is a good spot for them to get right. I think the offense will be able to go. And Arizona's been feisty offensively, but I just don't trust Pfaadt in this spot. I like Seattle. I like the over.
Yeah, you said Seattle hadn't played good baseball. They were really sloppy at the weekend. They made some horrible mistakes. I mean,
Yeah, I agree.
you watched the Newcastle Nighthawks train on a Sunday afternoon. And yeah, the Mariners look very similar to us out there. They need to improve on that. If you looked at Wu's service stats, you'd think he's going along okay. His ERA and his whip are fine. But you can't back him on the evidence of his 3 recent losses. So I wasn't particularly interested. That combination of Wu not going well, just the Mariners, just half-arse and everything at the moment. Brandon Pfaadt's given up plenty of everything lately. The team totals in his last 2 games, the game totals in his last 2 games have been gigantic. 21 and 18, the game totals in his last 2. Both starting pitchers have really strong indicators to a first 5 over. Brian Wu is 8-3-1 in his starts. Brandon Pfaadt is 9-3-1 in his starts to the first 5 over. So that'll do me. Didn't need to go anywhere else. I'll take a first 5 over in that one. Lonte, we made it to the end of 15 games as best we can. I can't remember. Is it you or is it me? Because we see what's cocked us up. We went back to back. We went Monday and Tuesday last week. Do you remember?
Yeah, I think it's your turn.
You think it's me? Okay. Yeah. Well, you see, I like going first because I can steal the good ones, but also, it does mean that I'm a bit short of time. That's why I'm saying things now, just to try and drag this out a little bit. Right, come on. Let's go for lock will be. I've got a few to choose from.
Yeah, me too.
So I really like that Giants play, but you've kind of talked me out of it a little bit. Runs, there was a couple of totals that I liked towards the end of the card. Might even be that very last one. I think it will be. I'll take the first 5 over between Seattle and Arizona. It was just all signposts in that direction. And for my dog, there's a couple of tiny puppies. You've got some bigger ones. I like the Brewers. I'm not going to win a prize. They're +102. But you'll all have to forgive me because you remember I'm trying to get over a bump here. And a +102 shot might just push me over the edge. So next week we can get onto the +185 shots. I'll take Quinn Priester following DL Hall to beat the slumping Atlanta and Grant Holmes. Give me the Brewers, Lonte.
I like that also, man. For lock-wise, I'm going with Pittsburgh. I don't really care who they have pitching. I mean, I just think that Pittsburgh is playing really well. They're at home, undervalued. I think playing really good baseball. I think Keller's been underrated because of his record for obvious reasons. But if you just look into those numbers, he's pitched really well. Pittsburgh's playing really well. They've won 4 of the last 5. I think they come in and have a really good series versus Miami and kind of get things or keep things trending in the right direction. So let's go there. And for the dog, you know what, Mal? I was gonna go Rockies. But I'm gonna go Kansas City. Kansas City at home, I think the price is a little bit too high. Plus 164. You shop around, you maybe can find 170. Nah, not 170. 164 is the best I can find. But I do think that they're undervalued here. Smith should not be laying this number on the road. We saw what the Yankees pitching staff has been doing over the weekend versus Boston. Now, obviously, Kansas City's offense is not as good as Boston's, but they've been playing really well. They're hitting almost 300 in the last 10. They're coming around, hitting the ball better at home. So I think plus 164 is good value for Kansas City. So I'll take them as my dog.
Yeah, with Noah Cameron on the mound, no problem. Absolutely no problem at all. They are very much. He's going to keep them live in that game.
Yep.
I completely agree with you. Home run pick, slightly counterintuitive here for me because we both liked Tampa Bay Rays. We both talked up Ryan Pepiot, but I am going to fade Pepiot. In terms of pitchers that have given up home runs, Ryan Pepiot's right up on the list. Oh, I tell you who else is right up on the list, though, actually. I could probably fade Brandon Pfaadt a bit easier than I could fade Ryan Pepiot. Yeah, go. I'll be a little bit cleverer. I looked at who was I looking at there for the Red Sox? Oh, Trevor Story was the one I was going to give out for the Red Sox, but Brandon Pfaadt's right up on that list, 9th on the list of pitchers who've given up a ton of home runs. I've already said I liked the Mariners to get on the board. So let's go with, is Cal Raleigh cheating again because I gave him out last time? I'm allowed. I can be brave. I'll go with Cal Raleigh again. He's very, very reliable as the big dumper. So yeah, we'll take Cal Raleigh to take Brandon Pfaadt deep.
Yeah, so I kind of teased mine earlier. I like O'Neal Cruz. He hasn't hit a home run since mid-May, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe it was a little bit late May. But I think he has a good opportunity against Sandy if it is Sandy. Even so, I mean, nobody on the pitching staff for them scares me at all. So I do think that O'Neal Cruz has a big day. I think he has a big series actually coming up with the pitching staff that Miami is throwing out there. So give me O'Neal Cruz to hit a bomb tomorrow.
TVDBJs. I looked at Roman Anthony because I was trying to get one for Pepiot. So Roman Anthony is live there. That's TVDBJ's pick, who's locked up the Reds and gone for the Brewers as his dog. Gio's joined us for the dying embers of the show as well. Welcome along, Gio. Thank you. Lonte, solid effort in 57 minutes. Anything you want to tell the people before you go online and book those Real Madrid tickets next weekend?
No, man, I'm good, man. Hopefully everybody has a good betting day today and yesterday with Scott and D-Rock. So, man, hopefully we can hopefully they can roll over their winnings there into our picks, the ones that we agreed on.
$50 parlay on the Royals and the Rockies will buy you a couple of tickets, Lonnie. If you have a $500 parlay, I'm coming across. You can pay for my flight as well, and I'll come across. So that's the system for tomorrow. Thank you very much. Thanks everyone in the chat. Made it lots of fun as always. Back tomorrow. I think it's me and D-Rock tomorrow night. So yeah, looking forward to some baseball. Good luck with all your picks.